Hello everyone, I'm Tiago with Attack on Tiago, and for today's video, I'll be going over the critically acclaimed manga series Berserk to honor the late passing of Kentaro Miura, the author. And as a reminder, if you're new to the channel and if you haven't already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button to be notified when I next upload a video. I was thinking about doing this video with multiple people and having a discussion about it, but since this series is so personal to me, due to how much I love and respect the series and the work that was done on it, I'll be alone today talking about it. So for starters who don't know what Berserk is about, I'll give a quick synopsis. Berserk is a dark fantasy following Guts, who is the acclaimed black swordsman and former mercenary, and he is out on a quest for revenge against a person who has taken everything away from him. And on this quest, he encounters many monsters who are attracted to his scent, many characters, both friend and foe, and nothing will stop him from getting there. Just a basic synopsis that hopefully doesn't reveal too much. Now, Berserk started getting published in 1989, and was still publishing and being successful 30 years later, until the timely death of Miura, due to an aorta dissection. Even though Berserk is Miura's most famous work, he did work on other manga series, but majority of his time was allotted to Berserk, due to its sheer popularity and praise. Miura said that the work that had the biggest influence of his manga was Fist of the North Star, a 1983 series revolving around a powerful martial artist. Even though the manga series is what got Berserk the most praise, it was actually the anime series that introduced me to the world. I first saw the 1997 adaptation, which covers the Golden Age arc of Berserk. Overall, I thought it was very solid and it really intrigued me. I've also seen the 3 Berserk films and parts of the 2016 anime, which I quickly dropped. Berserk was always a series I heard was so good, but never got a faithful and awarding anime adaptation. So now it was 2020, around the time COVID began, and I wanted to get into reading more manga series. So why not start with the one that people say is the best, in Berserk. And after stopping and picking it up back a few times, I finished it and loved it. I have now reread the first 4 arcs in Berserk twice, and may do it a 3rd time in the future. Berserk isn't for everyone. Let me make that clear. It is possibly the darkest, most violent, most mature manga series I have read. If you thought Game of Thrones was bad, Berserk makes that fantasy series look like SpongeBob SquarePants in comparison. So just a fair warning in case some of you may want to pick it up. But even with all that said, I still love it. First, I want to mention the art style. It is still the best looking manga series I have read. Even in 1989 when it started, it looked great. And by now, and especially in the recent arcs, it is insane to think about the level of detail that was put into every panel's art. It is maybe the only manga series I have read where I paid so much attention to both the art and the story itself. Now with the story, it is fantastic to read. How the story begins with Guts already as a black swordsman, and leaving us with so many questions, to then showcasing his backstory and everything that led up to who he is now, just played out beautifully. There are still many moments that are just glued into my mind, both for amazing and horrifying reasons. In the story, there are 5 main story arcs. There is the Black Swordsman arc, the Golden Age arc, the Conviction arc, the Millennium Falcon arc, and the current arc, which is the Fantasia arc. Of these story arcs, Black Swordsman is the shortest and the weakest in my opinion. Fantasia arc is still ongoing, so it's hard to judge, but it is slow in certain areas. Meanwhile, the other 3 story arcs are some of the best story arcs I have read. In particular, the Millennium Falcon arc happens to be one of my top 3 favorite story arcs of all time, with some of the overall best moments in the entire series. Next, I have to mention the cast of characters in Berserk. It honestly is one of the best casts of any manga or anime series. Starting off with Guts, who is one of the best characters of all time. His journey from start to where it is now is full of hardship, trials, death, and unstoppable foes. But even though everything in his life seems to be against him, he will still keep moving forward and won't let any of it affect him and his quest. He's one of the most inspiring characters in existence, and of course his badassery in the fights lend to how great he is. Another character who's a standout is Griffith. Griffith is the antagonist of the story, but he wasn't always like that. Griffith had ambition, and you see throughout the story that he'll stop at nothing until he gets that goal, which is owning his own kingdom. Every time Griffith is on panel, there's an aura about him that just glues your eyes to the page. He's one of the most well-written characters in anime, and also in charge for one of the darkest moments as well. Even though those two are the main two characters, characters like Skull Knight and Zod are full of intrigue and mystery, while characters like Casca and Farnese lend to some of the most emotionally empowering scenes in the series. I give this cast the utmost of praises. It's sad to think about a series like this stopping so abruptly, since we may never get that conclusion to Guts' journey. But at the same time, this isn't just about remembering Berserk, but giving thanks to everything Kentaro Miura has done. He not only wrote one of the most acclaimed and popular series, but he inspired many writers and creators with their work. And with me being one of them, I thank you, Kentaro Miura, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.